I feel like a lot of people goes through this when they're so funny in their native language, but then like they have to let that go in their other language because it's like not the same, or it's harder, or like you don't speak as much, so you can say your jokes or things like that. So like you sometimes give up a part of yourself when you speak another language.
Welcome you guys to the Shane So podcast. I have someone very special. She comes from Costa Rica. She speaks 3 languages, learning her 4th language, and she married someone really amazing. This is my wife, Fair.
Thank you,
Thank you, baby, for being on here with me.
Yeah, I did marry someone very amazing.
And
It's
very
you,
handsome, right?
Of course, very young too.
Well, I've married a very beautiful wife.
Thank you.
So when I first met you, I remember telling you, I said, you're more than a beautiful face, didn't I? You have a very beautiful soul. All right, so for those that don't know much about you or anything, so you're not from Puerto Rico, you're
not
from Costa Rica, right?
Yes.
All right, so what part of Costa Rica are you from?
So I was born and raised in San Jose. Like, it's the city. I've always lived in the city. Yeah, I lived there all my life.
Oh, man, well, that's great. Honestly, what was it like? But your mom, she's from where? She's not from Costa Rica.
So
Where is
my
she
mom
from?
is from Nicaragua. She came to Costa Rica very, very young, when she was around 14 or something. So she pretty much lived all her life in Costa Rica. And my dad, he's Costa Rican, born and raised there.
What made mom come to Costa Rica from Nicaragua? Why would she?
Yeah.
Why she choose Costa Rica than other places?
Well, she already had family in Costa Rica. So she decided to come to work here, in Costa Rica. And so she knew like some family would be waiting for her and like would help her. And she was like, okay, like I don't want to stay here anymore. She had very bad experiences in Nicaragua. So like she was just ready to change like everything.
And how's her accent in Spanish? Is it Nicaragua or is it Costa Rican?
No, it's actually Costa Rican. But if she is with her family, she speaks in Nicaraguan accent. It's very funny. So we sometimes speak at her like how she changes her accents. But I know when she just first came to Costa Rica, for some reason, Costa Rica just doesn't like Nicaraguans very much. And like they would just pick at people if they know you're from Nicaragua, or like be mean to you. And so like when she started working, she had to like change her accent, or people would be like mean to her. Like it was just really bad. So that's why she changed it.
Well, your mom's been there a long time in Costa Rica, so she's more tica than
she's more
Nicaraguan,
tica.
right?
Yeah. I mean, she only lived in Nicaragua for 14 years and in Costa Rica like 30 or something. Like definitely more Costa Rican, yeah.
Okay. So one thing that a lot of people don't know, because your English is amazing.
Thank you.
But a lot of people don't know this, but when you first met me, you were even embarrassed to speak even the little English that you did know.
Yes.
So how did you feel when you first met me? We spoke just in Spanish.
Yes. So I pretty much had a really bad relationship with English because my dad would force me to go to English school every Saturday, 3-4 hours, and I was just really bad. Because I also, like, all my, like, the people that was in my class, like, they already went to college to study English. They already, like, went to the States and lived there. And, like, I was always the little one and the one that didn't know any English. So it was really hard for me because everyone was, like, super advanced and I was behind. And my dad would force me. And I was like, Dad, I don't want to go. And he's like, you have to. And so I really had a bad relationship with it. And I just didn't want to learn. Didn't like it. I was rebellious with the English. And so when I met you, I was like, I know some, but like, I just don't feel comfortable with it. But then like, I think you thought my English was like very little. And when I finally opened up with you and I was like, okay, I'll let you hear my English, like, I think it was more than you thought.
It was, honestly, because you made me think that you only spoke like a few, like, hello, how are you? And that's it. I was shocked when you spoke to my family.
Yeah.
All right, so tell everyone, how many languages do you speak right now, like fluently?
Yes. So I speak Spanish, my first language, fluently. I'm fluent in English, I think, and I'm very good at Portuguese too. And I'm currently learning Korea, so like I'm not fluent at all or anything.
All right, so we got to let everyone know too.
Yeah.
You've been learning Korean for about 1 month?
3 months.
3 months.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, I was shocked. I walked in and saw you doing a Zoom call with your professor or your teacher from Korea, and
Yes.
she's talking all this Korean. I'm half Korean, and you're sitting there understanding her, talking to her in Korean.
Yeah.
What made you want to learn Korean?
Well, I always like languages. I didn't know which my next language would be, but since you're half Korean, I would like to speak in Korean with you when people speak Spanish and English. Like I would
So
like
we
to
can have our code language.
Yes,
Yeah.
and with our kids too. And also the fact that your dad, like, he speaks little English, and your family and his girlfriend, like, I really would like to actually communicate and take like the time and the effort to go and speak in their own language, because I know how it feels for you to like be in another language all the time, like your second one, and no one really like I feel like your personality kind of changes in every language, but your first language is like your real personality, and the fact that people don't know that side about you sometimes is very sad. And so I just want to be able to like communicate with your dad and have like meaningful conversations.
You feel like you get to know them more for who
Yes,
they are. Okay.
yes.
Okay, so I think it's pretty interesting. So you've been learning for 3 months, and now you've decided to leave me for 2 months because I can't go. I'm going to be so busy, but you're going to go
Yeah.
to Korea for
Yeah.
how long?
I'm going for 2 months and then coming back.
Are you going to miss me?
So much.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
but you're going to be so busy that you won't even think about me.
Yeah, no,
so.
I'm definitely going to think about you because every night I lay down, I'm like, man, I'm alone.
Oh, me too. Well, when you lay down, I wake up, and when I
know.
wake up, you lay
And you're
down.
still going to talk to me every day.
Of course.
Okay. And then I'm hopefully going to come visit you too. Hopefully after, I know you'll be there 2 months, so maybe after a couple of weeks I'll be able to come. And then I want to come back at the end so we can fly back together. What do you think?
I'm very excited because that way I get to know the city a little better in restaurants, and I get to take you to, and I won't be exploring it like by myself. So that will be fun.
Yeah. So I wanted everyone to know what you're working on. So you speak English, Spanish,
Yeah.
Portuguese,
Yeah.
learning Korean.
Yes.
Are you going to try and learn any other languages in the future?
I really would like to learn French. I think if I decided to get to know another language, it will be French. I know I will learn it really quick because like it's not as hard as Korean, and I feel like French has a little bit of Portuguese, a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of English. So I feel like that would be maybe not really easy, but like easier than Korean, because Korean is really hard.
Yeah. Do you think this is the most we have spoken English in between each other ever in our relationship?
Back and forth. Probably.
Because what a lot of people don't know is for 2 years we only spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
Then you come here to the States, right? And we still speak Spanish. But now you've been starting to slowly speak English. So it's funny when we go out in public, I'm the one speaking Spanish and you're there throwing in a bunch of English. So I bet people are like, wait a minute.
Who speaks what? Yeah, yeah. I feel like you want to practice your Spanish and I want to practice my English. And I think that's why we're speaking backwards to each other.
Well, also it's just because it's like, I think I've gotten used to, it's like me, it's like if my mom or Joseph, my brother, started speaking Spanish, why would I ever speak to them in Spanish? I'm always going to talk to them in English. I've gotten used to it for many years. So I think with you, and it's also, I know you, like you said about the personality, if you speak in your native tongue, I know you for who you are because of how you speak Spanish. So I just relate with that more.
And how funny I am in Spanish.
You're very funny.
You know?
And you have a very sweet Spanish. You're not like, hello, it's really sweet.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like, I feel like a lot of people goes through this when they're so funny in their like native language, but they have to let that go in their other language because it's like not the same, or it's harder, or like you don't speak as much, so you can say your jokes or things like that. So like you sometimes give up a part of yourself when you speak another language too.
Well, that's right. So, okay, other than languages, okay, and you go into Korea and leaving me for 2 months, I just want to talk. A lot of people, every time I show them what I'm about to talk about, they're always surprised. Is the fact that you're actually an artist. You have an art room and everything.
Yes.
Tell us about what kind of artwork you're in, and why is it a passion of yours?
So I do oil paintings. I like to do big canvases, like at least 60 per 67 inches, I like to paint a lot of animals. I think all my paints are
I think
animals.
they are, yeah.
Yeah, I only have one that is like a boat, but like the rest is all animals. I love animals, like for who doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it just passions me a lot because like I get to see my work, like after I finish is like always there. But I didn't start painting until when I came here 2 years ago. Like I never painted with like paints or oil or anything. I've always liked like crafts and coloring. Like I love coloring books and all that, but I never thought I was good at painting. I thought you had to go to study or college or whatever to be good at it, until one day I took a canvas and I'm like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. Like it shouldn't be that hard. And then when I finished, I was like, wow, I did that. I was like, I did that. And so since then I got better and better.
Because we had a penthouse, and you were like,
Yes.
I would like to buy some, cuadros. I want to buy some, like, pictures to put on the wall. And you said, what? They're so expensive. I
Yes.
can do that myself. And you told me, you said, Shane, I want to buy a few canvases and just try and paint on. I was like, sure, okay, not thinking
Whatever.
anything of it. And then I
Yeah.
came, I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I was surprised myself. I was like, did I do that?
It was. And then you also gave me some gifts. You painted me a
some
beautiful
paintings.
lion
Yeah.
on a huge canvas and
Yeah.
gave it to me. And then
Yeah.
my first plane that I had, you actually drew it with, you did that with
yeah.
color pencil though, right?
Yeah,
Or-
it was color pencils and markers.
and marker.
Yeah, but you look pretty
So
real.
impressive. We'll have to show it on the
Yes.
screen too. We'll get
Yes,
to
I
show it.
was very impressed myself. I was like, I don't think I can do something
No,
like that
it looks
again.
so realistic.
Yeah.
Well, one thing too, since you are leaving to go to Korea, for example, you love to travel.
Yeah.
One thing that I didn't expect, because when I met you, you're very feminine, like, yeah, very girly girl, but you're very brave. Okay, I remember the first time I was going to take you on jet skis. You've never been on them. And I was like, oh, she's going to be a girl, be very scared. But then you got in, you took off.
I was
You
like,
didn't
let me
even-
try.
You didn't even ease in. You just took off. Or we'll go zip lining. We've been scuba diving
Yeah.
together twice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're super brave. And to go to Korea, I mean, what do you think about most people say, man, I'm about to leave the country. Like you left Costa Rica, you're living in the States. Now you're going from here to Korea. Like, how do you get past that fear?
I just don't have fear to get past like I guess I don't think too much into it. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go and just have fun, because I think I'm also like a social butterfly.
You are.
And so I'm like, doesn't matter where I am, like if I'm nice and if I keep my values, like I'll have fun, I'll have friends. Like I guess I also just think positive. Like I think all the good things that can happen, I barely think like, oh, but this could, like I don't even give mind to that until like it's happening. I'm like, oh, I didn't think that this could happen. And
Yeah.
so it's like, just go, like don't think about it, just do it, that's what I do.
Yeah, I feel like you're fearless because when I was in Costa Rica, you said, oh, yeah, I've only been robbed twice. Okay, you're like, just don't go outside with your cell phone. You'll be fine. And so,
Yeah.
I've never been robbed in my entire
Yeah.
life. Can
There's
you-
a word for that, right? Is it like mugged or
Mugged.
Mugged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about the 2 times you
yeah.
got mugged.
Yeah. So I realized that a lot of people don't have that experience here. But I feel like if you live in like Hispanic country, like it's pretty normal for people to have their own stories, like getting mugged and things like that. So
Crazy.
my 2 stories are, the first one, I was in high school. I was around 14, maybe. It was my first high school year. So I was going to my friend's house. My mom just bought me this phone. It was so good. Like I loved it and everything. And my friend is like, because we were in exams and we would like leave high school earlier, she was like, let's just go to my house, And I'm like, okay, but to go to her house, you have to go through like this park. And so when we were walking there was this guy sitting like in the park, And I was like, oh, like, I don't know, pretty guy. And I even like smile at him and everything, because like I'm, so nice.
nice.
Yeah, and I'm like smiling at him. And so I go like, me and my friend go past him, and I just hear like this noise, almost like, you know how you're in a park and you hear all these doves like fly at the same time, like you
yeah.
hear like their wings. And So I heard like this big noise that sounded like that. And I turn around and I see this guy has my friend with a knife on her neck. And he was like, give me your phones. Like, he didn't even ask for like our backpacks or anything. He was like, give me your phones. And I was like, in my mind, like, quick thoughts. I was like, I can run right now. Like,
oh my
he
gosh.
has my friend. But I mean, I would never do it. But like, you know, like you
The
start
things that
thinking,
go through your mind.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I was like, I can hide my phone maybe and say like, I don't have like, I don't know. Like, how do I save my phone, you know? And so I tried to like move it to the side, but I had this case that was kind of sticky, so I couldn't. And so like I had to give him my phone, and like she gave him her phone, and he let her go. And then like I started crying like crazy. I was like traumatized.
Yeah.
And we went to her house and we were crying. Her brother like run back to the park to see like if he was still there, but we couldn't like get anything back. So that was my first experience. And I started dreaming every day. How would I defend myself? Would I run? Would I maybe like say no? You know, like being brave like that. But that's not a good idea. And then my second time, I think I was around 15.
So a year later, basically. Okay.
Yeah, like a year later, 2 years later. I'm walking with this friend to his house because we were going to meet like a lot of friends and go like to eat or something. And we were walking in this neighborhood, but it was a nice neighborhood, but it was just kind of lonely. And I was like, isn't that dangerous, like around here? And he was like, no, like nothing has ever happened to me or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And so we keep walking. And this motorcycle stops in front of us.
Yeah.
But this is like a messenger motorcycle. Like in Costa Rica, you can tell, oh, is it like a messenger working like normal motorcycle, or is it like someone that could rob your motorcycle? Like,
yeah.
you know how to like kind of distinguish.
Kind of tell.
So we were like, no, it's fine. And the guy was so nice, and he stops in front of us, and he's like, hey, can you tell me like where this mall is? Which it was like really close. Like, can you give me the directions? And so my friend is like giving him like the directions, like just go this way and whatever. And the guy he just took his gun out and like was pointing at us. Like he was in his motorcycle still, and we're like standing. And so he was like, give me your phones. I feel like everything in Costa Rica is give me your phones. Like
just phones?
Yeah, not even like your money. No, like give me your phones. And so I was like, not again, you know? So what I did was, I think I had my phone next in my bag, and there was this car next to us just parked there. And so what I did was grab my phone and throw it like to the side. And
behind the car, or?
Yeah, like behind the car. Like he was here, I'm here, and the car is like right here. And so I grabbed my phone, like throw it, like so he can't see it, you know?
Okay.
And in that moment, he's like, don't be stupid. And I thought he like saw me, and I was like, oh shoot. But he was like, don't be like stupid, like give me your phones. 'Cause we were like in shock, right? And so this is so funny because my friend he had like this iPhone 6 or something, right? But it was all broke. Like the screen was like, I mean, this phone was not savable. I don't even know how he was using it. And then I was like, I don't have a phone. Like I don't look, like I don't have anything. And then he sees he grabs my friend's phone, and he looks at it, and he gives him back his phone. Like, this sounds like a movie, but he gives back his phone. And he was like, no, I'm just joking. Like, I was just playing, you guys, but don't talk with strangers. Like, but this is just a joke. And I'm like, and I look at my friend, I'm like, did my friend do this to me? Like, and I'm like, is this like your friend or something? He's like, no, I don't know him. My friend was in shock too. We were scared. And so the guy, he was like, no, I just have to like carry my gun because like I have very important like documents here, you know, and whatever. And so he leaves, and my friend and I were traumatized. We go to like his house and everything. And then me talking with other high school friends, because he was very close to our high school. Mm-hmm. Other of my friends were like, that same thing happened to me. But like some of them, he took their phones.
And sometimes he gives it back.
Yeah. And a friend didn't have a phone at the time because he got smoked before that from other person. Like, this is really very normal in Costa Rica. And so he said like this same motorcycle, messenger, he stopped next to him asking for the exact same directions, and he was like looking at his pockets to see if he had his phone, but he didn't, and so he left. But he did it to a lot of people, so I think he gives it back, so like you don't go and like if it's not worth it, so you don't go and to the police or whatever.
Yeah. And just so everyone knows too, Costa Rica is actually a very safe place. Okay, right? It's a good place. You're hearing just a funny story.
Sure.
Yeah, you just don't walk out in certain areas. Like you were not in the best area. You asked your friend, "Hey, is this a good area?" And
But it was a good neighborhood, though. The thing is when it's too lonely. If you see it too lonely, don't do it.
You want to be in more of a busy area. Yeah, okay.
Because I feel like people will defend you. Like if other people is there and they notice something's going on, they'll defend you. But like if there's no one, I'm like, okay, like I'm getting out of here, you know?
Well, one thing I have to say is because I've traveled to like Bolivia and Panama and Mexico, I've been to a bunch of places. And sometimes, and I understand some Spanish, even, I got
You're
better
really
now
good
that I'm
in
with
Spanish,
you. But sometimes they're a little racist. They don't like Americans. I've heard stories too in Europe.
Other countries, right?
Yeah, other countries. They don't really like Americans much. But in Costa Rica, everyone is so chill.
We love Americans.
They love Americans.
Yeah. I feel like, at least in the city, for my experience, we don't have as many Americans or just people from outside besides Nicaragua, So when someone in the city sees like an American or like someone from outside Costa Rica, we get excited. We get like, wow, And so I remember my high school, like there was no one like outside of Costa Rica there. And so we had like an exchange student, I remember, from like Germany. Like he was tall, white, blue eyes. Oh my gosh. In like the breaks, people would like swarm him over. Like people were so excited. Wow, where are you from? And like if you went to Costa Rica to a high school outside, you're a celebrity. Like everyone wants to talk to you. Everyone is so like excited to see you. But I know that's in the city though. I think like in beach sides, it's more common to have like, for what I heard.
More foreigners.
Yes. Because I feel like people that move to Costa Rica from outside the country, they go like to the beach areas or like touristic areas. But in the city, not as much. So, Costa Rica, love Americans.
All right. So another thing is we've traveled to Switzerland and we went to London. And so where's been the favorite place you enjoyed where we went before?
I think I really love London. Like I really, really liked it.
What did you like about it?
The food. I like the city. I feel like Switzerland was beautiful, but it was like a little bit boring. Like,
It was, and also
the food wasn't good.
The food wasn't as good.
Yeah, I think Switzerland made London better. Because we went to Switzerland first, and then going to London was like, okay, good food, like city, like all the cars were really cool. Driving in the left side, and they're like all of their cars. I think Cancun was really fun too. Mexico,
Cancun.
So fun.
What was
beautiful.
That guy's name? That Mexican restaurant that.
Epifania, Don Epifania, I think.
If you're hearing this, Epifania, muchas gracias.
Yeah, thank
really
you.
Cool,
he was so nice to us.
I really enjoyed Cancun, and the water's good, the food's good, it's safe. I enjoyed Cancun.
Me too. Okay. People is really nice there too.
And then we went to why did we go to Switzerland?
Oh yeah, for my birthday, we went to Olivia Rodrigo's concert because at the time I couldn't come to the States.
That's right.
So that was one of the countries she was going to, and that's why I went all the way there.
How many times have you been to an Olivia Rodrigo something? Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 times I've been in her concerts.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
Yeah.
And we got to meet her, didn't we?
Yes, we met her in person. That was really fun. And when we met her, she had like the smallest concert like ever in the Grammys Museum. And we were sitting like first row and like right in front of her. It was so fun.
Yeah, I remember. So when we were there waiting, because we were like, I didn't know it, but we were the VIP people.
Yeah.
So we got to go meet her before she sang, right? And you got to talk to her and I thought it was funny. You were asking about her rings and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, oh my gosh, let me see your rings, because like everyone knows her for wearing a lot of rings. Like, let me see her earrings, and her hands were so small. I feel like when you see a celebrity, like you see them like big screen, big this. So like for some reason, when you go in person, it's like, oh my gosh, this person is so small. You know, it's like a normal person. And so I'm like, let me see. And like her hands were so tiny. And she was like, oh, let me see your rings. And she saw like my engagement ring at the time. And she was like, oh, like I want to have one of those rings. Like I like it. And I was like, oh, thank you.
And then you gave her a gift. And what gift did you give her? I forget. You gave her a few things.
Yes. So we got her a Louis Vuitton purse. It was like, it was screaming Olivia Rodrigo. It almost looked like a collab between Louis Vuitton and her, because it was like purple. And it had like this silver like pattern in it, and it had like this little bag too to hold like your rings and everything.
That's right.
So that was like screaming Olivia Rodrigo. It had like a chain, like a silver chain too.
Yeah, I remember when we went to Louis Vuitton and we saw that's Olivia Rodrigo's purse.
That's Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah, and so we got that.
Okay, what else did you get her?
We got her a like a journal. It was really pretty. We bought it in the Container Store.
Yeah.
Who
really
doesn't know the Container Store? You have to go. It's a really good store.
And no one knows, I don't think we've told anyone, but we actually both wrote letters to her in that journal, didn't we?
Yes, in the journal. And we wrote like this poem.
A poem?
Yeah. Or was it like a song? I don't know.
I don't
but
remember.
It was funny. It was.
We were trying to be fun, right?
Yeah,
if there's
we were trying
one
to be
thing that
funny.
you wanted to say to Olivia Rodrigo, what would you say?
Yeah. I just want to know if you like the purse. Like it was so nice, because it had, and I told her like, this purse has this for your rings. And she was like, oh my gosh, you know me so good. And I was like, I do. But I want to say, I was here from the beginning. Like when we went to Switzerland, it was for this sour tour. It wasn't from God's. It was like the first tour she ever did. And I mean, I feel like flying all the way from Costa Rica to Switzerland says a lot. So
yeah, she made our entire vacation possible, because that was the main reason, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we've been to Olivia Rodrigo concert. You got to meet her in person. You got to talk to her a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember after we spoke to her.
Yeah.
When we was going in to sit down, I said, "Yeah, you're pretty much you're gonna you're gonna be right there in front of her. And you're gonna be able to almost smell her.
Yeah.
But you didn't know you were gonna meet her at that time, of course. But But did you enjoy that?
Yes. It was a really good experience. Also, it was very interesting because like no one was singing. Like it was in the Grammys Museum, so I was singing. I was like, I like this song, you know.
Yeah. Do you think you're her number one fan?
I think I'm pretty close.
You're the more international fan of hers, right?
Yeah. I mean, I also, I mean, I know her from Visarvard, you know, that was like one of her first shows, you know, from Disney. Not a lot of people knows that.
Yeah. Well, also, so what, now I know we've done a lot of trips. We've been to Cancun, we've been to Nicaragua, we're going to go to Colombia soon, we're going to Europe, you're going to Korea soon. What, if there's 3 places in the world that you want to go visit, where would those be?
I really want to go to Australia now.
Australia. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Australia. All right.
Yeah,
What's 2
I really
more?
like their accents.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Before you said you don't want to go.
No, I was
because
just scared
the
of the
one.
animals. I was like, I don't want to go just to find like giant snakes and like spiders. Like I'm not into that. But I don't know. I'm very curious to see it. Like,
All right.
it's so
So
far
Australia,
away.
we'll have to go.
Yes. I really want to go like to France too.
France?
I feel like it's a place that we must go.
I want to go to Disney World over there and see the Eiffel Tower. But okay. So Australia and France. Where else? One more.
I would like to go to like Ireland.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Do you like their accents too?
Yeah. I think they're
I thought
funny.
you were going to say Hawaii for some reason.
But that's a country. I mean, that's a part of the States.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
But yeah, Hawaii.
Okay.
I really want to go to Hawaii. What about you?
I think Hawaii, Australia for sure. Definitely France, but I don't know. I've never been to Korea, so I want to go to Korea,
Yeah.
Australia. Ireland, because I think that their accents are the best. They're
Yeah.
fun. I love the little kids talking, you know?
Yeah. Also, like from the movies I watch, it looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It looks
Oh, I
beautiful.
would like to go to Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah. Oh, to Brazil. I've
No,
never
no,
been.
no.
I speak Portuguese and I've never been in Brazil or Portugal.
Okay. We'll have to go.
I
We'll
have
go.
to. I have to. It's a must.
Yeah. So, what are some other things that you're working on?
Yes. So right now, reading the Bible. I'm trying to, well, I want to read it from cover to back and from back to cover. I've never done that. So I'm very, very excited to just read it all and just have like all the word of God.
Yeah. Well, one thing I think is neat is because me and you've been praying a lot together.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to find someone else that's not just, great physically, and then you got a big heart and all that, but also you spiritually too. Good.
Yeah.
So I walk in sometime and you'll be praying, and it just touches my heart and just makes me feel even more blessed. And then the fact that you're reading and studying and you ask me questions and we try and figure out together if I don't know them. But in the Bible, what's one of your favorite books? What's your favorite book in the Bible?
Yeah. Well, right now, if I only had to, because there's a lot, but if I only had to name one, I think it's John. I think God gave me a lot of signs to read John. I never even like heard of it. I was like, I don't know what this book is about. Like, I have no idea. And I read it and I was like, wow, like, God, I know why you wanted me to read this. Like the whole, I wept. I was happy. I was like it's where Jesus gets like crucified, and he says Jesus wept. Like his heart was troubled, but like he had to do it. Like, and he died for us. And it's like all he went through, and like the apostle was like, please don't leave us. And like Jesus was like, I have to. It was just very cute and sad. But yeah, I like John a lot.
And do you feel like, do you look back in the past and see where God was there to help you on every step of the way?
Yes, I was raised as a Catholic, but I mean, when I was little, I remember going to Catholic church every Sunday, but we never opened our Bibles in our house. Like it was just going Sundays, that was it. And I mean, I didn't understand much. I was in daycare, and it was a Christian daycare, so like we learned a lot there. But then we stopped going because they changed like the pastor, and we stopped going. And then like I've always believed in Jesus, but I've never read the Bible by myself. I never opened a Bible and said, let me read it, you know? And so when I met you, like I know you were Christian and everything. And then like seeing like how you act and how you behave and how you base your stuff from, because like maybe we have like a disagreement. I'm like, but who says that? Like, you know, like, why do you say that? Like, where does it say that, you know? And you were like, the Bible. And I was like, I never thought, I never thought about basing anything in the Bible, you know? And then like, I started like getting curious and watching videos, watching podcasts and all this. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy a Bible. And then from there, like, so I'm pretty new. I'm a baby in Jesus Christ.
Oh.
But I'm so happy. And I see like, I've been watching a lot of testimonies about how like ex-convict, ex-prostitute and all these like find Jesus. And I just think, wow, like they went through all of that so they can sit here and tell us their testimony and tell us how they went through it, you know? And so I just feel like everything happens for a reason. There is no, how do you say it? Like, I forget the word.
Explanation, maybe?
No, like, there is no, like, coincidence. No, not coincidence. But you know when something happened, you're like, oh, like, what a coincidence. No, it's not coincidence. Is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
But everything happens for a reason. That's all I'm trying to say. And so I just feel like everything I've been through, everything I've gone through, like, is for me to be sitting right here and being the way I am. So yeah, I can see like every change and everything.
That's amazing. Yeah, because did you know my mom? She grew up in the Catholic Church too, and then she slowly converted over to Christianity, which was a little bit different.
Yeah.
So she still remembers how both, they're both a little bit different, of course. How was your family feeling that you came from Catholic to Christianity?
I don't even think they know the difference.
Oh, okay.
Because my mom wasn't like raised in a Christian home at all, and she moved by herself and everything. She started going to church, Catholic church, but I don't think she really understands. Because I remember, because my daycare was Christian and the church was Catholic, and I would go home and I'm like, Mom, what is the difference between Catholic and Christian? Like, what is to be a Christian? She was like, we are all Christians because we're all like childs of Christ. And I was like, okay. So like when I would say I'm a Catholic, I'm like, but I'm Christian too. Like, I didn't know the difference until recently. So like, I don't think but now I talk with my mom and I'm like, Mom, like, you're not Catholic, you're Christian, And now I feel like I pray for my mom and my family so much. And I'm like, just Lord, just bring them to me.
I can see a lot of things from when I first met. Not that you was bad, you were real sweet, always nice, but I can tell where God has slowly changed things, even things without me saying it. Because you were saying earlier, just so that everyone knows, whenever you said, who said that? The Bible. We wasn't arguing. It was nothing like that. You always say, hey, Shane, why are you responding to these people this way? I said, well, the Bible says do it that way, right? So, but yeah. Anyway, I think I can see where things have changed in you, even whenever I didn't come and tell you anything. I can just see where God slowly, He's like He's guiding you, and God loves you more than I do. That's crazy too. That's amazing just to think of that. So, but I'm blessed because honestly, I can tell too by seeing what God's doing in your life is actually it helps me too. Yeah, to see that.
Yeah, I think God brought you to me so like I could become a Christian, and God brought me to you so like I can also keep you on your faith. I'm like, let's go to church, like let's read the Bible, let's pray, let's like now I'm keeping you, like let's do it, but before it was you keeping me accountable. So I feel like just God does everything for a purpose. Yes.
You know what's fun is because I'm a little older than you.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I remember being probably around 14, 15 years old or 16 or something. And I used to say, Mom, I want a girlfriend. I want a girlfriend. And God said, you never know. She may not even be born, And you probably wasn't at that time when I was 14, 15. Who knows? But it's just kind of neat because, and I tell you all the time, I said, God made you for me.
Yeah.
Probably because I was praying for you at that time.
Yeah, you were praying for me.
So I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
But honey, anyway, I love you very much. I'm so happy. We finally did a podcast.
Yeah.
We got to do it again. We got to do it again in Spanish too, don't we?
Yeah. And I mean, thank you for introducing me and everything.
Yeah. Are you going to do a podcast with some friends?
I don't know. I think if I did a podcast, it would be about something Christian. I feel like I have to wait until God calls me to do it. Like, I have a purpose to do it. So I just enjoy being here with you.
I love you, baby.
I love you more.
Well, anyway, thank you for being on the show. And you guys, if you guys want to check out, how can everyone find you online on Instagram and stuff?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Fergie So. That is FERGIE. SEO. And I mean, I think in Facebook it's a little bit complicated because I'm like,
we'll just stick with Instagram,
or TikTok. I think I have it like that, but
you can follow her at Fergie Show. So it's FERGIE, right? SEO.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys follow my wife and. You're going to be doing a lot of neat trips. I'm sure you're going to be doing some Korean posts. So you can keep up with her. Different foods you're going to try, different experiences. You're going to make a ton of friends. And anyway, I'm very proud of you. I love you very much. Thank you for being here, baby.
Love you.